Welcome to the Life and Times podcast. Sit back, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the vibes, and thank you for checking us out. Dasia.
Hi, Adrian.
What's up?
What's up?
Nothing much. Why don't you like hearing yourself being recorded?
Look, so first of all, funny story. The reason why I even said that was because I was getting some voice recordings messages last night, and then I was responding back, and I normally don't do that via voice messages. But for whatever reason, alcohol, I was feeling like, yeah, we could do this. And every time I listened to myself back, I was just like, ew. It's funny, my sister and I sound almost exactly alike on the phone. I don't mind her voice as much as I mind mine.
Were you sounding like Teddy Pendergrass or
Yeah,
Barry White?
yeah.
Which one?
You be the judge. I don't know. You be the judge.
Nah, you sound fine. You look great. We're
Thank you.
ready to rock and roll.
For sure.
All right, cool. So, hey, listeners, welcome back to another episode, a riveting episode of the Life and Times podcast. I'm Adrian. You already know it's no BS coming from me, and I am joined by the lovely, talented Miss Dasia. Am I calling you Dasia or am I calling you Deja Vu? What am I?
Both will suffice.
Okay.
Sugar, but
Okay.
Deja, you know me as Deja, so you can call me Deja.
All right, no doubt. All right, so Deja, tell the people where they can follow you and
Okay,
hound you
so
and all that stuff. You don't
all
have
right,
to say your place of business if you don't
right,
want to, but
right.
if you do, go for it.
We'll save that for the in person. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If y'all call me, y'all find me. If y'all don't. But on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Deja_VOO. Deja spelled Asia with a D in front of it. It's not that hard. And then
Pause.
if you find me on the book, it's I'm not gonna mention that
Yeah,
one. That's
don't man.
my government. Y'all can keep that.
We'll leave the
We'll
Facebook
leave
to
that Deja
family
vu
and all that stuff.
for sure.
All right, so we start off this podcast by doing something that all of us in hospitality love to do, which is indulge in alcohol. So,
For sure.
yeah, so I want to know, Deja, what are you drinking? Tell the listeners about it.
So this is a sorrel red stripe. So if
Okay.
any of y'all familiar with beer, red stripe, Jamaican beer, they have flavors as well. Essentially malt beverage. Um, well, actually, this is actually a lager,
Hmm.
but it tastes just like a wine
Hmm.
cooler. And it's pretty good, but they don't sell it in the States. So I brought a couple back from Jamaica. I just got back last Tuesday.
True that.
And they're not bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. So next time I go, I'm gonna have to bring more than just six.
Okay.
Yeah, ASMR.
International D.
You know that, okay?
Flex on the pod real quick.
Period.
All right, so for me, I'm drinking right here
What is
Death
that?
Death Raptor. It
Okay.
is a killer IPA from Monday Night Brewing here in
Oh, lit.
Atlanta.
Shouts out to Monday night.
No doubt. This is my first time trying it, so if it sucks, I'm gonna tell y'all. So, all right. So, another way of us starting this podcast, Deja, is with positivity. So, this is my time to show gratitude to you for joining us. Oh, I know. You would never imagine. Uh,
Ever in life.
whatever. But honestly, man, I love seeing. I mean, we've stayed in touch for
For
the most
sure.
part. You know what I'm saying? Just to check in with each other, see how we're doing. It's one thing about you know coworkers or employees, and you stay in touch with them, and you see them doing great things. You see them, staying there, same, not same, but same personality, the same things that I loved about working with you. And I see that, I
Oh,
see you're growing, I see you're doing your thing. I see you traveling and doing
For
your
sure.
thing, and I also see that you still have some people in your circle. Like shout out to Anik,
For
still in
sure.
your circle. So that's always a good thing. So I want to extend a toast to you and say much love, much success, and all that good stuff to you. All right.
Salute.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool. Cool. What
Mm.
flavor is that? Strawberry?
So sorrow. So
Oh,
are you familiar?
sorrow is a flavor.
Yes, sorrow.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it, basically what's crazy is it's made from hibiscus, basically. So
Oh, okay.
sorrow is a drink
Yeah, yeah.
made from hibiscus, but it's known by other names. My favorite name actually is in Spanish, they call it Jamaica, which
Okay.
is Jamaica.
I've heard
I
that.
think it's
Okay.
really dope. So yeah. So sorrow, Jamaica. I think Haitians have a version of it as well. Like
Okay.
it's all basically the same thing.
Sorry, that was the Stone Mountain in me. Like that's
But
that's
it's
some
all good.
that's some
It's all
strawberry
good.
that's some
Is that
strawberry
it's
lager, nigga.
strawberry? Definitely thought.
That was the east side coming out of me. All right, so let's. I always have a few questions to set the table so the listeners can get a better idea of who you are, what makes you tick.
Okay.
So, first question.
Hmm.
Growing up, what was your perception of hospitality workers?
Oh, okay. So I feel like at a fairly early age, I'm gonna say like teens, when I was able to like go to restaurants by myself. Um, I never really had much of any thoughts. I just knew that they were, doing a job,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, waiting on us. And then I knew that I'm really trying to rack my brain to figure out like when I learned that tipping was a thing.
Right,
But
right,
I just
right.
like going places with my friends. Maybe some way somehow it just rubbed off kind of automatically. Like you see them digging in their purses for extra, then you dig in yours for extra,
Right, right.
what have you. But what I will say is that I always knew that I was supposed to like treat them with a certain level of respect. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I was never the type, and I never hung with people who were like rude to wait staff
Right.
in any way, form, or fashion. So
Okay.
I don't know. I think I had a pretty good foundation with that. Like, especially come from kind of a big family. Like when we would go out to eat and things like that. Like I never was around people who were just rude
Right.
to the people waiting on them. So
Yeah.
pretty much instilled in me from pretty young that like, nah, you treat people with respect. You go out, you conduct yourself like you guys in man sense.
No
That's really
doubt.
what it was.
Now, I remember being in high school in particular, and after football games, I mean, I played football or whatever, and after football games, we would link up at Waffle House.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Football players, cheerleaders, like that was our little kick, after the game,
Same.
win, lose or draw, we were gonna be up there. I remember I remember one time in particular that stands out to me, and we all like order. Your teenagers. One person gonna order a waffle. One
Exactly.
person's order being extra. So I'm pretty sure the waitress was like, "Fuck these kids," you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But I remember a lot of the players they dine and dash. They all jumped up
Uh,
and left. But I was like, I'm not doing that
right.
because I'm driving and I'm not about to get pulled over for no dumb. I'm definitely not about to have Adrian Sr. asking me, like, yo, what's good? So I just paid
Hmm.
for mine. I was like, yo, I'm not paying for everybody's, but
Right.
I'm I'm gonna pay for mine. And I
Right.
apologize that they did this. And she was
Right.
like, oh, F them kid. She went off and I was just like, I'm paying mine and I'm giving you a tip. So I don't know what to say past that, baby. So,
Exactly.
but I'm pretty sure she no longer works at Waffle House. But shout out to that snaggle tooth woman
Oh,
who
not the
clean
snaggle.
clean cussed me out
I
for
made a post like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, snaggletooth people always have the most to say. It's really giving Close your mouth. Like, you do that for me, please, because all of that, you got to get that together.
Or the person that's missing the side tooth, but they're like, well, you can't really see it, so
Oh no,
I'm gonna
you
let it. I'm gonna let it fly. You know what
just
I'm
don't
saying?
laugh too
Yeah,
hard.
don't laugh too hard, and that's the key. Exactly. Don't
Just
laugh
give
too
me
hard. Don't start getting too deep in conversation. You know,
that. No, seriously.
just learn to grin. All right.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
second question: what was your
Mhm.
first job in hospitality? I think I know the answer to this because I interviewed you at one
Right.
point. But what
Right.
was your first job in hospitality?
I definitely always kind of wonder if this counts, but because technically it was fast food, not really hospitality. But
That counts. That counts.
okay, well, cashier at Taco Bell.
Yep.
I actually rode that way first years from crew member up into management, and did that for quite some time until I sat across from you and interviewed. But yeah, and then I've also I did like under the table work for a little bit as a server. Like I want to say my like around like 19, 20-ish. And
That's under the table age. I mean, under
right,
the table
exactly,
work age for sure.
exactly for sure. And then made a little cash off that, and then way too many people, and I hate that. So
Mm-hmm.
I yeah, I feel like knowing people that kind of like you don't get to really lean into that kind of like uh service provider, service,
Receiver.
take, right,
Right,
exactly,
right.
receiver. So it's hard because when people know you, then they tap into that familiarity, and it's kind of like I'm really just trying to do my job. Like, yeah, if you cool enough, we can turn up. But a lot of times it's not the case. It's just like, ain't you such and such, girl? You don't know me, okay? You don't know me. I don't know you. But you want fries or you don't want the fries?
Right.
Like,
Quick.
so yeah, I cannot
I
do
got
that.
two or three other tables, ma'am. So
No, seriously. I have a full bar.
right. Facts.
So one of the spots that I worked at, like let me say a few years before I even came, shout out.
No
It
shout out. Fuck
was
them.
it was in Camp Creek. That's a fact. Fuck them.
We'll pull up on you.
It was in Camp Creek, and no, I probably worked there for like a week, if that.
Mm,
My sister was there for like a long time, but I couldn't do it. No,
mm.
I don't want anything to do with you people.
I feel that.
So,
I feel that. All right. So last question before we get into it. Right.
mm,
Um, do you think that everyone should have at least one job
yes,
in that industry?
absolutely.
And why? Why, of course.
My main thing is people forget that service is a two-way street. That both the customer and the server or whoever, bartender, server, manager, everyone has a job to do.
Right.
And I think that the more people who work in hospitality, the better for them to understand that these are the steps you're supposed to take. Okay, these are the ones that we're supposed to. So if we drop the ball, that's absolutely on us.
And it
But
happens. It happens.
it definitely happens. But that whole customer's always right bullshit. Um, that definitely goes out the window when you work on the other side of it. So I just think that more people would have a lot more empathy when they're stepping into these establishments with all the criticism in the world, not understanding that you didn't do your part. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, prime example, if I'm on the bar, every drink isn't going to suit every palate. That's perfectly fine.
No.
What you don't get to do though is just say, I just don't like it. Well, I just don't like you, but I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you respectfully. You feel me? Like, so I mean, what we like has very little to do with it. What you could do is though be specific. Is it too sweet? Is it too sour? Is it not strong enough? These are things that I can help you with. I can't help you with. I just don't like
Help
it.
me
And that's
help you.
help me help you. That's the part where you gotta hold up your end. Somebody sends back lamb chops I mean, I just didn't like it. What do you mean? You just didn't like it? You ate three of them. It's only four. You did like it. You just don't want to pay for it. And so, like, we have to really get out of this kind of coming into establishments just to wreak havoc. Is
Mm,
ridiculous.
that's
And
true.
so, people are miserable.
I I think a key point of what you were saying was the empathy portion,
For
because
sure.
it's one of those things where I think a lot of people do go out and not really take in account that this is a person's job. Some people do that. Like, they're like, whatever, I don't like this. I don't get the right vibe off of this waiter. So I'm going to return the favor. Not
Seriously.
knowing that waiter could just finish have gotten cussed out by
Yeah.
another table or
Yeah.
their manager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna make an excuse for if a customer comes to a restaurant, they get subpar food and service. Hey,
Precisely.
we're we as a business should make it right,
Absolutely.
but I'm not gonna make that an excuse for you to
Act the
turn up
fool.
and act a fool,
Right.
because
Exactly.
nothing's being accomplished by that.
Exactly. And even okay, so the flip side, right? That's obviously the waiter fumbled in a way,
Hmm.
right? The flip side is you have people who come into these establishments already miserable. You're
Yes.
already annoyed. You're annoyed that you have to leave your house. You're annoyed that you were in traffic. You're annoyed that
You're
you
annoyed
ended
by
up
the person that's sitting across the table from you.
look.
This dude is ugly. I'm gonna take it out
You're
on this
hangry.
server.
You're hangry.
Right.
That's a real thing. I cannot count how many times I've encountered a couple. The woman is insufferable
Mm.
until she has about three bites of her meal.
Then it's
At
all
that
sweet.
point, she's smiling, she's giggling. You legit came in here on the cusp of starvation and you taking it out on me. But as soon as you get your meal, it's a complete 180. And so for me, it's like, why don't y'all have the emotional intelligence to realize, like, hey, I'm not really in the space to engage with people right now.
Mm.
So this is what I'm gonna do.
Let me order
I need
takeout.
to don't come talk to me until it comes. Like, because gladly, I will stop being the bubbly me. I will get out of your face. I will make sure your order comes hot. I'll make sure your drink is strong.
Right.
And you ain't got to worry about me till you happy again. Okay.
Facts.
But that's, you do your part, and I will gladly do my part. Like, that's kind of really what it boils down to for me.
Facts. I think I'm not gonna say it's easier from a service standpoint of a woman compared to a man. I'm not gonna say
Mhm.
that. But I am gonna acknowledge, like, when I was in college and when I started serving and bartending and stuff like that, one of the first lessons I had was I have to approach I have to approach customers a different way than you would probably.
Mhm.
And I have to gauge, everyone's not the same. So
Fact.
I have to, some of these tables, when I walk up compared to a lovely lady like yourself walk up, they're gonna be like, why is this motherfucker serving me? It's like, here's my order, keep it moving. I have to have the wherewithal to be cool, man. I'm
Mhm.
everything good. All right, cool. If y'all need me, let me know. Like that sort of, exactly. Not everything okay, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
me, like making small talk. Like, if somebody don't want to make small talk with you, my man, you don't have
No,
to do
seriously.
it. And I think that was one of those things. I think that's one of those things that at least dude servers or dude bartenders have to learn. I don't know if you agree with that, or
I think that
because I honestly do think that it's a little bit more opening or welcoming to a woman.
I think it's
You
gender
know.
based. I think that
Mm.
if you're a male server or bartender, women are going to be more responsive
That's
to
fair.
you.
That's fair.
And then it vice versa, men are going to be more responsive to me. So like, and if I'm dealing with like a couple, for example,
Hmm.
there are rules to that. Like most female servers and bartenders will let you know, most of us won't even address the guy unless he addresses us directly because we don't want to get into this fighting for his attentions. Like, girl, I don't want him.
That's a good
Like,
point.
I want his money. Give me his money.
That's a very good point because I didn't really even think about it from that standpoint because
Mhm.
yeah, I mean I've seen it before. I've seen customers have an issue all of a sudden just because
I got a
she
nice rap.
addressed it.
Crazy.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
At deja vu, folks.
Period.
To any of my listeners off of I'm off of any podcast platforms at deja vu. All right. All right, let's shift it, man. You mentioned it earlier and I want to
Mhm,
hear about it. You guys
mhm.
just finished your trip from Jamaica. Was that Jamaica?
Yes, it was Jamaica.
Okay.
So, Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken, it could have been the Bahamas, but I'm almost positive it was Jamaica. So Jamaica was my first international trip,
Oh,
as
okay.
well as the last international trip that I just come from. So I
Okay.
thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so I've been a little bit of background. My dad's side of the family is Jamaican.
Okay.
So
I think I
his
remember
mother
that cuz I met him.
born
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so he was born in London though, but his mom is Jamaican, born and raised in Jamaica. She had all her kids in London, and then they moved to New York when he was 5.
Okay.
And so when I grew up, I on that side of my family, just spending time with him, it was pretty heavily influenced. Like I was, listening to not necessarily dance hall like a whole lot, but definitely like the soulful reggae.
For sure.
Um, my grandmother's a great cook. So definitely the food aspect and then hearing patois and being able to just understand that dialect very, very young.
Mhm.
And it was something that I didn't realize was different until I got a little bit older. And then I realized that a lot of people weren't really familiar. When I was up until I was about 14, my dad had locks as well. And that wasn't really something that you saw so much growing up. Probably, I guess guys really started doing locks like when I was maybe in like middle school, something like that.
Mhm.
But and then they were like neat, and my dad's was kind of like freeform, kind of not.
Mhm.
Like started off structured, and then as he got older, and he practiced Rasta for years,
I didn't know
and just
that.
yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
let them just do his thing. And so I think by the time you met him, well, I'm sure, he had cut them
Yeah, his
because
hair was cut.
so and he buried them with her. But I say that all to say that I was probably late teens up until like my mid 20s. I was very much removed from Caribbean culture
Mhm.
for quite some time. Um, and I never really was plugged into like the Atlanta Caribbean scene at all
It's big.
until I started working where I work now.
Okay.
And so when I was about 18, like hitting the clubs and stuff, like the closest you would come to Caribbean vibes would be like a hip hop versus reggae party
Mhm.
every time.
That's it.
Like
Yeah.
be down at Frequency, be down
That's
at
that's that that's when dance hall, that's when it went crazy in Atlanta.
no,
It
it
went
did. What?
crazy in Atlanta
It
for
did.
yeah, yeah,
And
around that
then
time.
the one club that was really like doing it in the city was Peacock. And Peacock got shut down. Like I want to say by the time I was 21, I was able to go. They
They
closed
were
it, but
done.
then they reopened it. So that was a thing. So for me, it was like that was probably the closest I came.
Mhm.
Now that I work where I work now, it's a Caribbean restaurant and lounge,
Mhm.
and it's basically like plugged me, like tapped me right back into that side of me that I really haven't paid that much attention to in a very long time.
Mhm.
And thanks to BFF Anik,
Mhm.
who is
Who's
Jamaican.
Jamaican? Yeah.
Right. So thanks to her, she's been kind of like my fairy god sister in the fact that like she's been with me the whole way as I kind of rediscovered this whole side. So I said all of that to say,
Shout out
we
to her
went
big
to-
head, by the
oh,
way.
for sure. Shout out to my baby
I
doll, my
still love
nephew.
her.
she's still amazing. So, but yeah, we went for carnival. This
Okay.
is my second time playing mass. That's what it's called. It's essentially like they call it masquerading because you're dressing up
Mm-hmm.
in costume and you are in a parade. And so it's my second time. We both did Miami Carnival 2 years ago,
Okay.
and then we did Jamaica Carnival this year. And when I tell you, ladies, listen to this. Okay, lady, listen. If ever you just need, you know how like we love to joke around that if you're not feeling pretty, just go to the gas station.
Right.
You know, just let niggas holler at you because they are gas station niggas love a compliment.
Go on
Okay, love
Wesley
to
Chapel. You you will
you
leave
you
with
get
the
complimented
biggest head possible.
and wrong.
And I'm probably related to one or the other.
Get out of here. But yeah, so it's that energy
Mm-hmm.
on 10. Like keeping it, I'm gonna say frank. You'll see just about every body type on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We call it being on the road, like when you're actually like walking through the parade. And so you see everybody type, but what you don't see is like insecurities. Like
Mm.
everybody is just there for one goal, and it's very rare that you can get niggas together, okay, and there be no problems. But the goal is not to be problems,
Right,
okay. The
right, right.
goal is to have fun and feel beautiful and feel present and celebrate, lives worth living. So it's really like almost like a recharge when I go to Carnival at this point. It just really kind of it's very confirming. It's a really dope experience. So personally, if ever you get the opportunity to go, y'all should definitely play somewhere. Miami Carnival is always lit. We're talking about going to Toronto this year. I won't play, but I'm gonna go party and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then we have Trinidad in talks for next year. So
Nice,
we
nice.
had an amazing time.
Yeah, me and the wife are going to Toronto in 2 months. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
2 months. So
okay.
and we're still planning on going to Ghana toward the end of the year to
Ooh,
for our
okay.
official honeymoon. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
speaking of,
Thank you,
congratulations.
thank you,
I've
thank
given
you.
you congrats already, but we're gonna
Yeah,
officially do it for the pod.
no doubt, no doubt.
Just
Shout out to Lois.
right.
Sh-
She's so
She
gorgeous. She
holds
just
me
seems to be
down
so
and
full of
cusses
life.
me out ever so often, but
Love it. Love it.
she keeps me
More of
together.
that. More of that.
All right,
More
so
of that.
you brought up something that I do want
Hmm.
to touch on for sure,
Hmm.
um, about international travel. Like, so
Hmm.
do you get treated differently compared to stateside, in your opinion?
I'm not going to say differently, but I will say this. So, as far as the countries that I've been to Mexico, Jamaica,
Hmm.
Bahamas, Dubai, Puerto Rico.
Hmm.
I want to
A
say
prince
that's
didn't
it.
fly you out to Dubai, right?
No, I wasn't getting shit in my mouth.
I didn't say that. I
I
didn't go
wasn't
there.
gonna,
I didn't go
honey,
there.
I'm afraid. Okay, I went to Dubai for my 30th
I
birthday.
remember. I remember.
It was a group of us, mostly girls, one guy, but we wasn't on that type of time.
Right, right, right. I'm
Um,
just teasing.
no facts, but I mean, because possible,
I meant it happens.
maybe the second time I go, but no. So I say that to say most of the countries I've been to
Mhm.
have black people,
Right.
with the exception of Mexico, which Mexico
Mexico
does
has
have
black people.
some
Like,
black expat pockets, and then of course they have like indigenous people, so they have
right,
darker people there, but you don't see
right,
them.
right.
But I say that to say when you have people who look like you around you, they don't necessarily treat you differently. Like going to the store in Jamaica was no different than going to the store in Atlanta.
Right.
Niggas gonna look, niggas gonna talk. They may be just off of that culture a tad bit more aggressive in like what they're saying.
Okay.
But I mean, like they're just gonna aggressively call you beautiful. Like, but aside from that,
That goes hand in hand. Cause my
so
family's from the Virgin Islands, so
oh, for sure.
that's not. I
Mhm.
mean, you come out the womb complimenting the nurse. You know what I'm saying? So we are charming as a motherfucker. So
Look, I mean, and that's not even that is not even a lie. Like that's definitely right on par. But in Dubai was probably the first time that I felt that I was somewhere different. First and foremost, that I felt that I was like, okay, this is actual like foreign travel.
Right.
And the I guess difference is I never in my life have I had people want to take pictures of me simply because I was black. Like it was like we've never seen y'all before, so let's get this, let's document this. And also because Dubai is like a huge, like travel hub and it's Americanized.
Right.
So we were going places that had a lot of other tourists. And so like Asians walking up to us, like legit trying to touch our skin. It's like, hold up, back up.
That's
What are
crazy.
you doing?
Yeah.
We don't do that over here, okay?
Right.
Y'all like, mm-mm. But whatever the case, so for me, I don't necessarily think you get treated differently, but I will say that the small, subtle differences are noticeable.
Okay.
But I didn't feel at no point like going to the mall in Dubai was like going to the mall in America, with the exception of their malls are huge. Okay. Like ridiculously huge. But food court is a food court is a food court.
I feel that.
Wasn't that different?
Did they have pizza at the food court?
Probably. They had a lot of like American type food in Dubai. When I went to, where else have I been to, like the mall?
A Sbarro at Dubai is crazy.
So that's gonna be different. Like, it's not. It's probably called like something in Arabic letters.
Right.
Not Sbarro.
But
the
12-hour old pizza at Sbarro.
Just ugh. But yeah, otherwise, I think like my favorite place to go, kind of like off rip, is Jamaica. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
This was like my third time going, so I feel like you definitely feel like that familial vibe. I do love Mexico though.
Right.
Mexico is just one of the places where like people will stare. I will say that people will like legitimately. If you decide to be super skimpy that night, everybody's gonna be like.
You've worked at restaurants that I've had employees, and you know how some of my Mexican brothers get down. They're extra horny.
No, for sure.
Whatever level a normal horny is,
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's very much given. Never mind. That was gonna be that was gonna be bad.
Right. Hey, shout out to my amigos though, because they hold me down.
Viva la raza.
Amen. All right, so where to next? You said Toronto. You were considering.
Toronto's on the board.
Okay.
Possibly Colombia.
Okay.
Hopefully Colombia will hopefully be like in the next couple of months for sure. And that's kind of about it right now. Black just dropped his pre-sales, so I've been thinking about catching him maybe outside of Atlanta this time. Every time I've seen him before was in Atlanta, so nice. I'm looking at cities. I was looking at him earlier.
That's a dope album. He killed on
that.
Look,
I'm so proud of him because growth as an artist, it's hard to do, and it's hard to kind of like appease your niche fan base or whatever. But personally, I live for everything he does. I just think he's very soulful, very dope. Talk about some real shit, okay?
No doubt.
Of just the regular titties,
basic
ass,
stuff, yeah.
Still, I'm sick of this. Shouts out to Black for
no doubt.
Something different, daring to be different.
No doubt. So with you doing all this international travel, you are officially a passport cis. I don't know if that's a term, but here at Life and Times, we're making it a term. You are a passport cis. So
trying to find me an international zaddy.
In Dubai, they got them, but
no, they definitely do.
It's a price to pay.
Definitely. Look, for $1 million though.
Hey
I was
man.
thinking about it. I had a nightmare about it the other night, actually. I woke up like, you know what? I
I
gotta change my
just may, boo boo don't stink that bad.
ways. Is it loose? What we talking? Okay, what we talking? 'Cause if you look constipated, I could die.
Oh my
You
god.
gotta catch me.
Oh my god. So back to passport sis. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we gotta unpack this growing phenomenon in the cesspool that I call Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That I mean, thank God there is Black Twitter, which
For
saves
sure.
Twitter
For
from
sure.
being a
I mean, black
complete
people saves everything. Like,
amen.
we save
Amen.
it. We keep this motherfucker spinning. Like,
This is a fact. All right, so a growing phenomenon in Twitter is this passport bros deal. So you're familiar, I'm assuming, by your shaking your head and
I am,
you're
when
familiar.
it comes to things like this, okay,
Hmm.
I really try to stay at an arm's length.
That's smart.
So I
That's
am
smart.
familiar,
Okay.
but I've not delved. I'm not gonna say that. Like I've not, really gone down the rabbit hole
Right.
because niggas make me angry
Ah,
sometimes.
man, goof, goofy, goofy
Seriously,
niggas, goofy niggas. All right.
seriously.
So before we get into this segment, folks, I
Mhm.
do want to let anyone know that the Life and Times podcast, we don't attack genders, we don't attack opinions. We just
Mhm.
hold goofy people accountable here. You do something goofy, I'm probably gonna say something. And
For sure.
hopefully, or I mean, I'm open to a person that agrees with goofy shit. I'm just gonna probably walk you up and down the
The
podcast,
avenues of beauty.
and we probably won't ever talk again. Whatever. But
Seriously.
so I got a clip for you, Dasia. I'm gonna give you and the listeners some background
Mhm.
on this gentleman. He went pretty viral on Twitter. His original YouTube name was, what was it? Mr. Passport Bro. Mr. Passport Bro. And this young man, he's probably in his 20s. You could tell that he's of adult age, where
Frontal lobe
he should,
probably underdeveloped
yeah, he shouldn't be nearly as goofy as he is, but he is in peak goofy form right now.
though. Mhm.
He makes a clip where he pretty much puts it out like, hey, if you're a man, you need to get your passport. No matter what, you need to get your passport. You need to get into these other countries because here they're going to treat you like a king, not like what they do in the United States. So I'm I'm going to play a part of this clip. I'm not going to do the whole clip there, but
Okay.
I want you to, I
You
do
burst into
want to hear what you have to say about this young man.
Mhm.
And the name of this clip is She is Wifey Material.
So, guys, I'm currently in Thailand. This is my girlfriend. She's so pretty. She's so pretty.
You see him? Okay. That's my man's. That's Mr. Passport Bro himself, live in the
Hey,
flesh.
Mr.
Now,
Passport Bro.
before his play, you look at him. He looks like a normal. He looks like a normal dude.
Mhm.
Maybe beard is a little, yeah,
Right?
But
You got a
he
little E.
it looks like some potential, wouldn't you say?
Mhm. For
Okay,
sure.
all right. So let's play my guy.
do you want to introduce yourself? You want to introduce yourself? No, you don't want to introduce yourself. She's a little shy right now, but she's my new girl. She's my new girlfriend. She's a little shy, but she is pretty though. I like her. Maybe we'll get married someday. Maybe we'll have kids.
I want
You
to
know,
pause it
have a
there.
bunch of babies running
Exactly.
around.
I just heard you. You said blink twice, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I mean, you heard it. The listeners heard it. This gentleman, he seems like he's a little socially awkward.
For sure.
I think that's the the most PC of way of describing him.
For
His
sure.
his companion here, uh, she is she appears to have braids.
Hmm.
She appears to have her lashes done, and
Hmm.
I don't know. You tell me, Deja. Does she kind of seem like she's trying to look black to you?
I would definitely say it's giving, urban Asian, like,
Right.
the ones who went to the black high school,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know,
Right.
football players. It definitely gives that
Okay.
for sure.
All right. So I'm not gonna just say that hey that's what she's doing, but that's
Right.
kind of
But
what it looks
this
like,
watches
right?
a lot of TikTok.
Okay. All right. Let's
Um,
continue.
living the life. Tell him. So can you cook? Can you cook?
Yes. I
She,
can cook, I can clean.
yeah. See, this is why I came to Thailand to find a traditional
His
woman.
kisses are
See, in
cringe,
the
man.
United States,
No, seriously.
women don't cook and clean. All they do is complain, and we don't got time for that. That's why I got my passport, and I've left. I've left the United States to come seek a wife to have a traditional relationship.
Okay. So now, all right. That's enough of my man. That's enough of my man. So you did hear the I can cook,
I
I
can
can
cook, I can
clean,
clean.
and did a snap with that. So she did hit a snap.
Sis has been studying her beat.
Deja, what what are your thoughts on that clip? Because we're gonna unpack it, but I just want to focus
Cringe.
on
Hashtag
that clip in
cringe.
particular.
Like hashtag trafficking. Like, yeah. Ugh. Yes, socially awkward to say the very least.
Mm-hmm.
I just, but it gives exactly what these poor young gentlemen kind of refuse to acknowledge, which is it has zero to do with in the United States, women, everything to do with reading the room and knowing your lane.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
for whatever reason, your lane took you all the way to Thailand. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's you gotta know what's for you. And she ain't even for you. Let's talk about it. Sis is like, get off of me. Now.
Right. Right. Like you could tell she can
Hmm.
understand English, but she probably doesn't understand
Doesn't
full
understand
everything that man is saying.
what the he's talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like the context. Like you can tell she's missing.
Right.
That's completely missing. And
Right.
aside from, I do think she's picking up on the fact that he is comparing something or someone to her. Because with the I
Mm-hmm.
cook and clean, like okay, girl, like
Right.
but I'm sure there are Thai women who would have rather a check, you know what I mean, than cooking and cleaning. So again, that's not an American thing. Traditional women are. You could have just went to Amish country, like let's talk about
This
it.
is true.
If you just needed a
This is
traditional
true.
woman, you want somebody churning butter barefoot. Get your-
But you could tell she doesn't know full English, but I mean she understood that
Oh, she
marriage and
definitely understood that.
wife cuz
It
she
was very
popped
much
back
given. Hell
like, "Hold
no.
on." Right.
Where is my $200 that you said you had? That's
Correct.
all I'm worried about. We
Correct.
talking marriage. Big.
Correct. So, if you're a lame in the
Come
United
on.
States, 9 times out
Come
of
on.
10, gentlemen, you're probably a
Come
lame
on. Because
overseas.
it's giving. She's legitimately
The
like, why is he still touching me? Like, you're getting the
right.
same energy
Right.
that you would get. Honestly, worse because you
It-
flew out there and you spent money to get it. So,
I mean, it's just one of those things. I've had conversations with friends, and I'll be transparent. I have friends who done this passport bro goofy shit. Now, mind you, I'm saying it's goofy. They know that I've said it's goofy, and they've had conversations with me. My thing is, you know, I just it feels
Oh, for
exploitative
sure.
to
For
me
sure.
because it seems like you're okay here in the United States. We're making money. You know what I'm saying? And compare that to these other countries, especially these countries that a lot of these gentlemen are traveling to. These are these those people are not making
Exactly.
money. Those are comparatively
Exactly.
poor countries. So you don't think that a lot of those women are not going to take advantage
Exactly.
of that?
And in
So,
that
yeah,
respect,
go
what
ahead.
is the difference between being taken advantage of here? We gonna want a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the only difference is that obviously we're on the same, relatively same economic level versus the women
Right,
over there. So yeah, they may be satisfied with that $200. We may need a little bit more than that. But there is no difference.
right.
If you're gonna pay to be lame and pay someone to like you could stay home. You could really just do that right here. You could take a trip to the hood,
Yeah.
find somebody with braids and nails and lashes, put her on camera, hug and kiss all up on her, and swear you have it so much better. You could do that domestically.
This is true. This is true.
Because a lame is a
Nah,
lame is
but
a lame.
I think that is the moral of the story. A lame is lame, a- is a lame. So shout out to Passport Bros. I pray for you
I want
guys
to know
every
if they.
day. Um,
I want to
you
know if
said
they
what?
got married.
Oh hell nah, man. I haven't looked him up in a while, so I'm pretty sure.
Come up missing.
I think if I'm not mistaken, the last time I heard of him, he was renouncing
Well,
Passport
I'm
Bros.
happy to hear that. No, yeah.
Yeah, so he's on the road to recovery.
Did you hear
He's
about
probably
his
still
dog got
lame,
stranded in
but
I think Brazil?
yes, that was hilarious
Just come up,
and well
okay,
earned,
come
sir,
up
and
for
well earned
sure.
because
Crazy.
I think if that's the same guy you're talking about, he got on live and was asking his followers like to cash app him so that he can
No,
get back
exactly.
home.
Crazy.
Jesus
Ridiculous.
Christ, man. Well, I'm thankful that I'm not a lame and that I have a wonderful
Facts.
wife. So I am happy. All right. Moving on. Now, this is another weekly occurrence with the
Mhm,
episode. Last week's episode, please check it
mhm.
out, by the way. Mr. Sims, he left a question for
Okay.
you, Dasia. And after you answer this
Mhm,
question that you have to
mhm.
answer, you will leave me a question for the
Okay.
next guest. So let me know whenever you're ready and centered mentally because this can go
Okay.
anywhere.
I'm ready.
Again, this is not from Adrian and the Life and Times
Okay.
podcast. This is from our last episode guest. Okay, his question for you, Deja. And I purposely didn't communicate it to you before so I can get as real of an answer as
Oh
possible.
God. Okay.
Describe the most freaky situations you've ever been in to the point of it being uncomfortable freaky, right?
Okay.
More
Mhm.
importantly, how did you get out of that situation? What did you do to get out of it?
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to
Hmm.
Sims.
Oh, because the thing that I have in my mind is a little bit gruesome. Okay.
Hey man, we're podding.
All
Let's
right.
get
All
it
right,
off.
all right,
Just like I told him, let's get it
Judge
off.
ye not, lest ye be judged. Okay.
Amen.
So, once upon a time, when I was significantly younger than I am now, but of legal age,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Okay.
for
That's
sure.
key.
It was one of those situations where girls' night or whatever, we're hanging out, we link up with our like homegirls, guy friends, right? So everybody ends up kind of
Okay.
like pairing off. And I guess where it gets freaky is that, bruh decided to like we like made out for a little while and things like escalated. But they escalated like on the stairs. So right, like
Okay.
we didn't even hit it, we was just right on the stairs. So um eventually we made it off of the stairs and then up to the room, right? And
Okay.
things were getting a little hot heavy. Now, notably, I was experiencing like a little bit of like back pain, like a little bit of back pain, right? And I'm like, damn, that kind of is annoying, but this is all right. Like, try to put it out of my mind, right? So we get
Mm-hmm.
upstairs to the room, and he's doing what he does. It was great. Not we didn't we were not having intercourse, but
Okay.
beyond heavy petting.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
So the issue is, I'm sure he was like there was something in the air that smelled a little like what's the word? Like like metallic.
Okay. Oh. 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 God.
And so
Oh no.
I noticed it, but I didn't notice it. Like it was just kind of like, well, whatever.
We're in the
We're
dark, I'm
in
assuming.
complete darkness, even on the steps. Like we were
Okay.
in
Yeah.
total darkness. I
Okay.
think there was like a TV on in the living room. That was probably like the only light in the whole downstairs. And when we
Right.
was walking in the room.
Yikes.
So
Yikes. I'm not gonna
yeah,
clip this. I'm not gonna clip
so
this.
basically yeah. So like eventually he like turned on the lights because it's just like something's amiss. And when he did,
He looked like he just finished having spaghetti, like going
sir,
crazy on some
sir,
spaghetti.
sir, from the stairs to the room, spaghetti.
Oh no.
And so,
Just all you can
I
eat
mean, he was
spaghetti.
getting down. You know what I'm saying? He was very much
Oh
rubbing
no.
the dummy.
No. No, 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 no,
And
no,
when I
no,
tell
no,
you,
no.
the last part of that question was, how did I get out of it? To this day, I have somewhat of a block about it. I remember, I do remember there were some attempts to clean it up, and they didn't require me to clean it up. So at that point, I just kind of like,
Oh my god.
but the signs were all there because normally when it's time for that to start for me, my
Right,
cramps
right.
like hit like almost immediately. Like it's really kind of weird. Like I could be cramping at, I mean, I could be like perfectly fine at 12 midnight, but at 12:01, as soon as like things start to get, it's just like cramps. So I'm like, that's what it was the whole time. But I'm trying to get my rocks off.
Mm,
Not even literally
mm.
telling my body like, girl, shut up. Like, we trying to make this happen. So yeah, we turned the
Damn.
lights on. It was very much like, wow, this is thoroughly embarrassing. Super freaky situation because Brad was still going at it. Like that was what was crazy to me.
Going crazy.
You
Hey, shout out Sabaros.
no
Shout out
doubt.
Sabaros and
Okay, Brad,
their spaghetti
you.
Tuesdays.
Brad, go. No, it was
Yikes.
really
All right, we go. Hey man,
embarrassing.
I'm done. I'm good. I appreciate your transparency. I'm sure my listeners have either
they
cut this
grown
off
up.
or they're feeling it. They're like turn
They
up.
even grown the fuck
Um, what
up.
what what is your question for next
So my
week's guest?
question
Guess it
is
doesn't
going to
it it doesn't matter how
mine is
random.
going to be a lot more thought provoking. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
'Cause that was
Thank you.
very interesting. So all right. This is a would you rather question. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, I was about to say, okay, so would you rather, there are three choices. Would you rather be rich but forever single, be married to your best friend but never have children, or have three kids and a perfect marriage but live paycheck to paycheck?
Mm. Yeah, you got to think on
Mm-hmm.
that one. I I think I know the answer for next
Mm-hmm.
week's guest just because I've known him for
Okay.
so long, but that's a good that's a good
Okay.
one. That's a good one. All right, so lastly,
Mm-hmm.
lastly, we have a Life and Times playlist on Spotify. Y'all, if you haven't already followed it, please look it up. Life and
Yeah.
Times playlist. And basically, all it is a collection of music, obviously, that our host and the guest are currently feeling. Like, what's the vibe for you? What's going on? What music? Do you have a story with it? What two songs are you leaving on the
Oh, I'm getting two.
podcast
Oh,
playlist?
perfect. Okay.
Two.
So the first one is
Mm-hmm.
going to be this is just because I'm still coming off of my carnival high.
Right,
And
right. I was expecting one,
y'all,
at least one.
tangent real quick, okay? Soca,
Mm-hmm.
Caribbean music in general, okay? Dope genre. If you're not into it, get into your dancehall, get into your reggae, get into your soca, like
Facts.
calypso, all that, right? But there is
Facts.
something about some soca on the road. That is the one genre. First of all, most of it, if not every single song, is nothing but positive. Like,
That's
even if
true.
it's just
That's
about
very true.
dancing, it's about turning up, living your best life, like keeping energy
Right.
high. It's about a lot of them will mention a phrase "no behavior," which basically means like
Right.
we all out with it. Like there's no holds barred, like no rules, no nothing. Have fun.
We
We
outside.
outside. So,
Exactly.
definitely the song that I would like to leave y'all with is by Nigel Blackman and
Okay.
and oh, Skinny Fabulous, and it's called "Come Home." That's pretty much like the road song this year, like for real. And it's so
Okay.
lit. I I wonder sometime about the lyrics, like as far as are they talking about like a relationship or are they actually talking about carnival? Because for those of you who don't know, carnival is pretty much like created and cultivated in Trinidad. And although other islands and countries have them in cities, that's where like that they're the originators. And so
Facts. Shout out to my Trini
facts.
family.
So the song, a lot of the lyrics are basically like apologetic, and it basically is like talking about like you left without saying goodbye, like, and it's because COVID there were no carnivals, and the first carnival after COVID, if I'm not mistaken, was Miami Carnival, and when I tell you
Okay.
Trinidad was deep, so their first carnival
Mm.
since COVID was actually this year, and it was ridiculous. Me and Anita were supposed to go, but she had just started at American, so there was no guarantee that she'd get the days off because she was still on her probationary period. So we couldn't go,
Gotcha.
but we probably gonna be in there next year. And that's pretty much that. So "Come
Word.
Home" by Nailah Blackman and Skinny Fabulous. And then the next one, because as much as I love me some soca, I
Mm-hmm.
like ratchet ass shit. Okay.
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 I look. I was expecting one of
And
these too.
so, but I say that to say I'm real into like big gunman tune. So we want dance hall ratchet. We're not talking Atlanta
Okay.
ratchet
Okay.
today. So I
Okay.
think I'm gonna go.
I thought you were gonna bring me some old Atlanta,
Oh
like
look,
some
I mean
snap,
we can do that
some snap.
too.
Don't
But
change it.
I gotta get
Don't change it. Don't change it.
we
But
go.
I thought that I was gonna get some snap
We're
error.
gonna go with. It's so crazy too because I have so many, but we're gonna go with. It's called Protocol by Skeng. It is at
Okay.
any bashment, any Jamaican club, whatever. Everybody goes up to Protocol. So that's the two that I have.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Please send me those so that I can
Will
check
do.
them out. Um, my two for the
Mhm.
playlist this week. The first one is Kingdom Hearts from JPEGMAFIA and Danny Brown. I don't know if you've
No.
heard this song, Dasia. I'm gonna
Okay.
send it to you. JPEGMAFIA is his producing style is so weird
Okay.
and random. Like he'll have a whole song and the it's I mean he's sampling like someone screaming,
Okay.
but it'll be a bop, like a full
I'm
on
here for that.
bop. So this one in particular is probably my favorite song off of their project Scaring the
Okay.
Hoes, which is hilarious. Very
Wow.
weird, but lyrical, fun. You could tell that they had fun with this
Okay.
project.
Cool.
So again, Kingdom Hearts by JPEG
Mhm.
Mafia, Danny Brown. Oh, and Redville is featured
Okay.
on it. So shout out to them. Second song. Have you heard the new DRAM
I
album?
didn't know Drum had a new album out. Is it fire?
It is super
Really?
fire. It's called What Had
Love
Happened
it.
Was. And the song from that I will say is going on the playlist is Wham. It's Wham. It's he's in his R&B
Let me think if
bag.
I've heard this.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
you have. I'm pretty
Um,
sure you have. But it came out late
okay. I
2022.
think I did, but I
Yeah.
can't right off
And
recall it, so I'm gonna listen to it. Because I feel like
okay.
when I heard it,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, this shit. So,
Yes. He has a couple of tracks on it like Vibe of the Year, um Let Me See Your Phone.
no.
uh what else? Bad News, Angry, Soul to
Oh my
Take. Like he's getting into his R&B bag, and like if you plan on having kids or working toward
God.
having kids like a certain podcaster, that
So
that
noticed.
album's in constant rotation.
Lit.
So
Lit.
but yeah, check it out. Please check it out. And again, listeners, on Spotify, we have the Life and Times playlist. Check it out, and I guarantee you will enjoy the vibes for sure. All right, so Deja, we're at the end of the
Okay.
podcast, man. How do
I
you
feel
feel?
great. This was wonderful.
You feel good? All right, cool. You gonna listen
For
back and
sure.
you don't sound like Barry White. I'll tell
Spoke
you
about
that.
that.
Maybe Teddy or early
Come on.
Gerald.
Come on, early.
Nah, thank you for
For sure.
joining
Anytime.
us. I really do appreciate you spending a little time with me and the listeners. Listeners down below, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and also comment down below if you've had Sabaros before.
I we
That's
had
that's
them
what I
one
got.
time in my whole life.
Yeah,
Gotta be
yeah. It
adventurous.
was the worst. It was the worst. But your man's had Sabaros too. But
Look now.
God bless his soul. All right, folks, we'll see y'all next week. Again, this is the Life and Times podcast. I'm Adrian. You already know it's no BS coming from me. This was the wonderful, lovely, talented Dasia. You can follow her at Deja
Mhm.
Vu on
Twitter and
what
Instagram.
you said, Twitter and Instagram. All right, we'll see y'all next week. Peace and blessings.